Hello, friends. Today's topic is, oh no, not rent going up again. Let's rant.
Very frustrated, of course.
For a person who doesn't have money, I think it makes a big difference.
There's like all these homeowners trying to charge people like almost $3,000 and for like such a small living space.
My rent's $1,200. Yeah, I got 4 roommates.
You can't even get an SRO now for less than, well, $750. There are some, but I mean, conditions are not livable as far as I'm concerned.
Love the city. Like, I like to live in Vancouver. It's just everything is really expensive, and the rent is the most expensive thing.
It's very little.
Yeah,
It's very little.
It's already high, so like it's it's already up here. So if you're slowing that down, like we need more housing. You need to get to the root of it.
I want an inexpensive place to live, don't get me wrong, but I feel for landlords, I think it's actually quite reasonable, its cost of living.
Obviously there's a problem.
yeah.
The 2025 recession is going to be one for the history books. Now, we just got an indication as to when and why this is going to happen. Now, what I'm about to tell you, we have not seen since 2008. Now, American credit card debt is over $1 trillion, which is some of the highest debt in the history of the U.S. Now, everyone knows that lots of people are using credit cards right now just to pay their bills. The interest rate on those cards is between 16 and 26%. Now, the real problem, however, is that nearly 12% of that debt is now more than 90 days past due. That is a sign that many people are already in deep financial trouble. Now, why is this important? Well, we haven't seen this happen since 2008, which I think we can all agree was a pretty bad recession. Now, think about it. The reason people racked up this debt is because they don't have the money to pay their bills. Now, those same people cannot afford to make the minimum payments on those cards. It's going to be one of those proverbial straws that breaks the camel's back. Now, the American people are about to endure a very bad recession. That's why I keep encouraging my followers to do your best to decrease spending in your household, stop eating out, and don't waste money on that new iPhone. Save that money for food and utilities. It's going to be a bumpy road ahead.
The way the cost of living has gone up is fucking crazy. A 1-bedroom apartment is damn near $2,000 a month, which is crazy. Like, what? Food is steady going up, and it's just like, damn, what do y'all want me to do? Y'all want me to live on the street in a box and, eat out the garbage and drink my spit? Because at this point, that's what I'm finna fucking do. Because, no, I'm not finna pay for no $2,000 apartment and I'm barely in it, motherfucker, because I'm always at work trying to keep the motherfucker. So, I don't know.
So kicking out your tenants is getting much harder. Here's why. So here are 6 things you need to be aware of coming with the Renters' Right Bill from next year. Number 1, no more Section 1 notices, meaning no more non-fault evictions. So you have to provide a valid reason for your tenant to leave. Number 2, you can no longer just take the property back unless you're moving into the property, you're giving it to a family member to move in, or you're selling the property. And this cannot happen within the 12 months of a tenancy. Number 3, the new rule that tenants must owe at least 3 months of rent. And even that, you have to give them 4 weeks notice to kick them out the property. That's even 4 months of rent. Wow. Number 4, if you're thinking of selling or moving into the property, you must give the tenant 4 months notice. And even that, you cannot rent out or remarket the property in the first 12 months or you will face penalties. Number 5, rent increase has been restricted. So now you can only increase it once a year. And plus, you must give them 2 months notice. And if they feel like it is too much, they're allowed to appeal it. It's getting mad. And number 6, pets are now allowed in everyone's property. You can no longer say you cannot have a pet in my house. And they got mad. I can't lie, government's gone mad. Hey, where we writing, bro? Cause this is getting out of hand, bro.
You got yourself in a pickle right now. I get this call all the time. I'm thinking about buying, but I'm also really accustomed to renting because it's easy. I don't have to maintenance the property. What's the best choice for me? So 2025 is right around the corner, and I suggest that you do a pros and cons list of renting versus buying. You guys can Google it. You're going to see that the experts say that the most wealthiest people in the United States own real estate, not just one, but a few different properties. So number one, make sure that you understand your budget. Make sure that you know what you're going to be paying in rent or what you're going to be paying in a mortgage. Some of the greatest pros about renting is you do not have to worry about the maintenance of the property. That's normally something that the landlord takes care of. And if you have a good landlord, then they're also taking care of any of the nuances that pop up. Now let's look at the flip side. If you're thinking about becoming a home buyer and you're going to own your own home, number one, you're going to grow in equity. Not only are you going to be hopefully saving money because of your tax benefits, but your home is going to increase in equity. My very first home I built for $55,000. Just about 21 years later, we sold it for $252,000. That's a $200,000 increase in 20 years. You cannot save money in your bank account to make that kind of difference. So think about these things if you really are truly thinking about becoming a homeowner. And equity is great because it's just like money in your bank account that just sits there and keeps growing and growing. That's why if you look at anything, if you Google like what do the most wealthiest people in the United States do, they own real estate. So hopefully this video helps, and hopefully one day you will become that homeowner that you want to become.
What do you think about this topic? Are you paying too much rent? Let's continue.
In 2024 and 2025, your rent will go up. Let me repeat that. Your rent will go up. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Crystal Adama. I am an Illinois-based realtor, landlord, and my goal is really to make all young adults and whoever you are become landlords, because living on one income or even two is not enough. You need passive income. So my goal is to make more landlords. Now let me explain myself. So I just left the showing, and this was a 4-unit property in the suburban areas of Chicago. Now I'm gonna go through everyone's rental price, and you're gonna tell me on what you think, right? So this specific landlord has owned this property for more than 20 years. More than likely the building is paid off, or they're paying probably less than $15 or less than $1,000 in mortgage. With the current increase in value, so now that the home is now on the market, the estimated rent price for that specific home is now $4,300. So if a new investor wants to purchase that property, and they will purchase it, let me tell you, because it's a good property, they will purchase it. That new mortgage would be an estimate of $4,300. Now let's go through the rent prices. Now, all of the rent prices for this specific building is below market. The person that has been living there for 20 years, they're paying $1,200. 3 bedrooms, a back patio, I'm not exaggerating, a back patio. You can have a party of probably 20 to 30 people on that back patio. She's paying $1,200. The other 3 bedroom is paying $1,150. So let's just say for easy, so $1,150. The 1 bedroom, that tenant that has been there for 10 years, she's paying $725, and the other person that has been there for 3 years, she's paying $500. Now, for the previous landlord, that specific rental amounts was okay. He was probably able to pay his mortgage, keep about $2,000 to $3,000 in profit, so he was okay. But now, because that property is now going to change ownership, and now more than likely the new owner is going to use an FHA loan or conventional loan, and they're going to finance majority of this loan amount, their new mortgage is going to be $4,300. There is no way that the new owner can keep those existing rent prices with those previous tenants. I'm outside, my apologies. It's hot outside, people outside making noise. So there's no way that the new landlord can keep those prices. So for the 1 bedroom prices, one is paying $725, one is paying $500. Actually, the market rent in this area is $1,200. For the 3 bedrooms, one is paying $1,150, one is paying $1,200 with a whole patio. That market rent is about $1,700 to $1,800. Now I'm gonna be honest, with that patio and how good that unit looks, it could actually, that 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom can actually go for $2,000. So let me close this out. So I wanted to let you know is that oftentimes, yes, landlords could be greedy, this, that, and the other, but what do you expect new landlords or whoever, new people that are taking this new property to do, if their mortgage is going to increase, that rent also has to increase. In addition to that, taxes are also increasing in the South suburban area as well. So that $4,300 does not even factor in the new taxes that are taken to effect right now. Water is higher. I think for that specific building, heating is included in that rent amount. All in all, what I'm trying to say is that it's easy to be mad at the landlord and scream and cry and say, hey, my rent is going up. But my question is, what can you do to put yourself in a bit better position? That is why my goal is to make people landlords. You make yourself a landlord. You live in one unit. You put Section 8 or other subsidized programs in those units so that you get guaranteed income, and we go from there. So if you guys have any other questions, concerns about this topic, please let me know. But this is extremely important. Y'all, this is extremely important. I hope you understand. But that mortgage that he was probably paying for less than $1,000, it's now going up to $4,300. Those rent prices are gonna go up. I guarantee you that. So I just wanted to keep you informed on the real estate market. If you have any questions, please put them down below, and let's have a conversation of this. Let's have a conversation.
For everybody that's paying rent, that can't afford your rent, that is worried from month to month about whether or not you're going to have a place to stay because of this high-ass rent that keeps going up, you can't afford it anyway, stop paying it. Go on a rent strike. Go on a rent strike. Get together with all your neighbors in your apartment complex, put a note up under their door, say, hey, we're going to quit paying rent on, say, February 1st. And then when that happens, it's going to be at least 2 months before the eviction process can be implemented. They can't do anything for 2 months. Then they can't arrest everybody or they can't evict everybody. They don't have the manpower to evict millions of people who decided to quit paying the rent. They don't have the manpower. Now, I'm not saying do this to private homeowners that are paying rent, that you're paying rent to. I'm talking about all these big ass hedge funds and these big ass Wall Street complexes that don't give a shit about you. Stop paying rent.
The leasing office at my apartments literally said, new year, new rent. And I just want to let them know that's illegal. And
If you have a place that your rent is cheap, don't leave. Because right now, rent is high everywhere right now. So stay where you are. If your rent is up, comment down below. Until next time.